Hi, Cody Waite here with Weight Endurance at Session 6 Sport Performance and demonstrating a Turkish get-up, which is one of our favorite movements as part of our core to extremity sets of exercises in our base builder strength training program. So the Turkish get-up, for those that are unfamiliar with it, it's a rather complicated multi-step movement that's really going to work every single muscle in your body, really focusing on tight core throughout, and also really active shoulder throughout, and you're really connecting everything from the core outwards to your extremities. In this case, your at least one of the arms, if not both arms, and your legs as well. So kind of just connecting everything. Very cycling specific. It's kind of a single-sided movement where you're going across your body, much like when you're pedaling your bicycle or even running, where different sides of your body are connected across. So that's what we're going to do. So Turkish get-up. So here's the starting point. You're going to want to start with a fairly light kettlebell to start with as you kind of learn the movement, the multi-stage movement. And then as you progress, you can go to heavier and heavier kettlebells. And people that are quite good at this can do quite a bit of weight. It's quite impressive how they do it. And within our strength program, you're going to because this is a very multi-step movement that takes kind of a long time to do the multi-steps for one rep. You won't do very many reps, but you'll do maybe a few more sets with fewer reps, and then with each set, as you get better, you can kind of increase the weight and see as you build up weight to do this. All right, enough talking, let's get into it. So you're going to start actually laying down here with the kettlebell here at your right shoulder. Your right knee is going to be up, your left leg is going to be out straight. This is the starting point, okay? And we're relaxed on the ground here. The first movement is going to be basically a chest press, a right arm chest press, punching up to the ceiling to get the kettlebell off the ground. As the kettlebells get heavier, I find that this part oftentimes to be the most difficult movement when you get a heavy kettlebell, is like getting it up off the ground. From this point on, what you want to be really critical with any overhead movement is having a fully locked out elbow. We don't want to be having a bent elbow at any point. Once we get it off the ground, elbow is fully locked out. And another good trick to do with this, to make sure your elbow is locked out, is throughout the entire movement, keep an eye on either the kettlebell or your your elbow, so you can confirm that it is indeed locked out and you're focused on the movement. Now I'm going to be looking towards the camera at times, but in general, keep your eyes on the kettlebell and or your locked out elbow. All right, from this movement, now it becomes basically a weighted sit-up to get into a seated position. So obviously a big core movement there to get seated. Now I've got my left hand behind me here for some support. Then from this position, it's a single leg glute bridge with my right leg. So I'm going to drive through the heel, pop my butt up, elbow still locked up, and I'm pushed through and really fire this right glute. From this position, I'm going to bring my left leg underneath and through, so I'm onto my knee now, and then I turn into this kind of lunge-like position here, okay? So we've done a sit-up, a glute bridge, and kind of a transition into this lower lunge position. Then from here, we're simply going to fire again through the right glute to stand up, completing that lunge. Elbows still locked out, weights overhead. This is the halfway point of the movement. Now we're going to do everything in reverse back, okay? So now it's a rear lunge, backwards lunge, into this kneeling position. Then you can sweep this leg for stability across, and you're going to go back into this sort of awkward plank kind of position here, holding with my left arm. Then we're going to bring the left leg through and back into this seated position, and then it's a reverse crunch to lower myself controlled back down, and then also a controlled lowering of the kettlebell. And that's one repetition of one side, okay? So then you move the kettlebell around, switch sides, so now my left knee goes up, right leg goes straight, and you do the other half of the repetition, okay? So we'll go through this again. Left side, punch the ceiling, get that kettlebell off the ground, chest press, then a sit-up onto my right arm here, then a glute bridge, pop the butt up there. I'm going to bring my right leg through onto my knee, and get into this kneeling position. Okay, so kind of that down lunge position. Then I'm going to drive through this knee, this heel to stand up. And I'm halfway done after that lunge. Then I'm going to do a reverse lunge. So I go back to my knee, sweep the foot, lean back into this upward plank position, really utilizing all my body here in my core. And then I'm going to bring my right leg through, seated, and now a reverse sit up to lower down, and then a controlled lowering down of the kettlebell back to the weight. Okay? So there's many steps to the Turkish get up. Watch this video kind of over and over as you get it down, maybe even make a few notes as you take it to the gym, or maybe even practice at home with nothing in your hands, just to get the sequence of the movements down. But great exercise, total body. You can tell it kind of gets even your heart rate up a little bit, and you're just connecting all the muscles, core to extremity, outwards as you do the movement. So good luck, have fun.